Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 453. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
How you doing? How you doing?
Brett Murdoch,
You may address me as captain.
and Brian Manjoma.
What up, what up?
Full crew tonight from the jump, people. You already know, man. Very salacious week in the games industry, which I almost missed because I was so busy with all this tech shit happening on my end. But I was catching the news. I saw the Discord chat, and you guys were fired up in the Discord, man. You guys were having a field day, you know, because Xbox had a very bad week. Oh my God, man. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it, man. So yeah, as you already know, Xbox had a massive problem with leaks this week, a bunch of emails, and apparently it was like Xbox itself.
What else? What else is new in Xbox camp?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah,
They're a freaking
case.
leaking boat.
Yeah, they've been that, you know. I still remember there was several E3s where, you know, Manny and I were we go to the show floor, we're getting situated, and then we get a message. Oh, here's the leaked itinerary, and it's always spot on, you know.
Always spot on.
Bro, I haven't heard of any of this, so this is going to be interesting.
Ooh, get ready! Yeah, the massive.
Dude,
leak.
I've been too busy playing video games.
Yeah.
What gas?
What are these video games? Oh, okay, so basically, I'm reading this off of Kotaku, right? 11 big reveals from all these leaks and shit. By the way, the interesting about these leaks is because everybody thought initially that the leaks came from, you know, the documents that they presented to the FTC. Turned out no, it was just Microsoft employee apparently leaked them.
Old emails over a year old.
Yeah, but still, it's the biggest news of the week, you know. So let's get into
Adam, don't give us that. You when we talked about leaked emails.
What leaked emails do you talk about? I don't talk about leaked emails.
They said Microsoft employee releases. To be honest, it almost sounds like disgruntled
That's what I
Microsoft
thought.
employee released this because yeah. By the way, you know, just so y'all remember, Microsoft has been doing some pretty damn big firings for the last year or so.
Yeah,
So
even just
somebody-
this week,
a lot
you
of
know?
people that were doing work from home, a lot of departments that were full
Yeah,
work from home. They
somebody-
just said, you know what,
you
stay
know,
home. You're done.
And from what I hear, also there's no rhyme or reason to it. They're just dumping people, and even job titles aren't even job security for them. So they're shedding some folks.
Yeah. Okay. I hate to do this, but I got to give Kotaku a little credit. I like this strap line here. Get a bucket. Microsoft's latest Xbox leaks are pretty wild. And yeah, they're fucking crazy. Let's get into it, man. Now, here's one we actually talked about a while ago, right? That Microsoft considered buying Nintendo, right? And as we talked about before, Nintendo literally laughed them out of the office, just like Square Enix did, you know, when they tried to buy them too.
What I'm confused with that is because, as we know, that happened way early on. And
No, this was
another attempt. Yeah,
But that's
this was not another attempt. This was just planning.
not planning. Okay.
Like if you read the email from Uncle Phil, it just says, you know, if we were to get our hands on Nintendo, this would be a great get. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
That's sort of thing.
which makes me wonder for that to come up if they have some inside knowing that there is a number. You know how there's always that talks like, oh, every company has a number. There's always a number. Unless they found out there was a number. Why even bring it up? You already got shot down the first time. And you know how Japan is with companies.
There's no number if you're Microsoft. If you're Japanese, that's a different story. They would never sell.
Yeah, no,
Microsoft.
this right here sounds
anyone
like
over
bullshit.
here.
Like, actually, not bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's like very wishful thinking, guys. Like, even if you're just pondering it, it's like, you're not getting Nintendo. And Chris, I want your take on this, right? Like, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking it wouldn't have happened, but it would be a little bit more realistic during the Wii U days where like the company was down. But nowadays, in the current state it's in, no fucking way it'll happen. Not in a million years.
No, you're absolutely right. They Nintendo has diversified themselves so much in that the Switch has done so well, but they also have the contracts with Universal. They're producing movies now. They are in a way better position than they were in the Wii U days. So whereas that was their weakest point, and they may have, Microsoft may have had a small chance. I'll tell you what, like,
but what was the year for that one then?
Well, I mean, it's a period when the console was out, right? Like
that email. Because that's what I'm wondering. Is that during the time when the Switch came out, or like you said, the Wii?
This was a lot of this stuff is more recent stuff. This is not like,
but that's what I'm saying. Why bring something up like that now? If the Wii, the Switch has been strong for what, 4 or 5 years?
No, this isn't brought up now. This was something that was discussed before. Understand?
Yeah.
Well, no, so you know what else is strong, Adam?
What?
You know what else is strong is
2020.
The Microsoft Pockets.
Yeah,
those pockets are pretty strong.
By the way, not strong enough for that.
Yeah. By the way, Blitz says that this was talked about in 2020 within Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so let me get this.
Go ahead, Brett. Brett, go ahead.
I just want to get this straight. So, like, to put this in perspective, we're talking about an idea that Microsoft internally kicked around that never got enough traction for them to even include Nintendo or even approach Nintendo.
Yes.
For the idea. So, like,
yes,
this is something somebody suggested in an email that was shot down within Microsoft. Like, this is what baffles me. Like, everyone's like, oh, it was proposed that they buy Nintendo. Yeah, it was also shot down internally that they try and buy Nintendo.
They never made the document for an offer. Because there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, they didn't make the offer. So, like, this didn't get past the one guy emailing another guy in the company, which hardly means that Microsoft as a cohesive force decided they were going to try and buy Nintendo. Somebody suggested it, and somebody else told them that it was a dumb idea, and that was the end of it. So, like, why is it
surprised if that was made in tongue in cheek? It's like, hey, things aren't great. How about we just buy Nintendo?
I mean, I think again, if you've read the email, it's more just a speculation thing.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. To be honest, it is not anything.
Yeah.
It's
by the way,
really
the email is actually from Phil. I want to read this passage here. At some point, Spencer wrote, "Getting Nintendo would be a career moment." Spencer speculated that the Japanese games giant could become more open to acquisition offers in the future due to changing pressures on its board of directors. It's just taken a long time for Nintendo to realize that their future exists off their own hardware. A long time with a smiley face. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just more a speculative sort of thing,
Yeah. But it's interesting that he's like, oh, maybe they would be more open to it, when they realize where the market's
they're not
changing.
open.
No, they're not. No, but I'm saying that's what he said in the email.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, he's not wrong. In the email, like, from where he's sitting speculatively, like, looking at it, you're like, yes, they've said no before, but that may change in the future. Like, that assessment isn't technically wrong.
It's not technically wrong out of speculation, but then again, this is also a Western company misunderstanding Japanese culture and business. Totally.
Shoot, remember the whole thing what happened with Capcom? And Capcom was open to it, and the government was like, no, you can't do it. You can't do it because they were going to sell to Microsoft.
Yeah, again, we've discussed this so many times why a Western company can't just outright buy a Japanese company. People don't want to listen. But here are two Western companies. The emails also revealed that Microsoft thought about purchasing Valve and Warner Brothers Games.
Valve is even more laughable than fucking Nintendo.
Yeah, like
now Warner Brothers Games seems.
Warner Brothers Games in general is sort of, they're in a way sort of bleeding,
Yeah.
So, yes, I could definitely see them picking up that. But then again, what are they going to get? They'd have to buy the DC and the DC franchises.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably why they didn't do it, because they're like, what? It's not a
because that doesn't mean they automatically get Batman and the Superman and all that stuff. No, they need to own the franchises. So that's probably why they didn't want to do it.
I'm sure that was just to get Steam, because when they launched their own store, their Windows gaming store, it sucked ass. It's horrible. I think it's still around, but nobody uses that shit.
Uses that shit. Yeah.
They pulled for a while. They had pulled all their games off of Steam, and they were like, "Oh, you have to go through our service and use our launcher." Nobody wants to use that, and then they started moving things back. So I could see them doing that, trying to buy just for Steam.
Yeah. So that's good. Oh, by the way, real quick, Blitz Dumeke, he goes, Phil Spencer also mentioned hostile takeovers and external parties buying up stocks. I mean, that could be one way of getting a company for sure. Very interesting stuff. Go ahead, Chris.
That's kind of a dirty way. That was like what Vivendi was trying to do to Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm, I remember that.
Stock at seats on the board, hostile takeover. Yeah,
Ubisoft.
I mean, that's like when you can't directly negotiate with the company. You're like, all right, we're just gonna buy you out every other way possible until we marginalize your shares. Yeah, and
give them ridiculous money.
But that's like a very deceitful way.
It's dirty. It'll come out. It'll make the rounds.
Oh, sure, but I mean that the perception of that wouldn't be good if Microsoft was able to acquire Nintendo like that, which I don't think they could pull it off. But if they could pull it off, right? Imagine the optics of it.
Horrible.
With gamers, like they would just abandon the IPs. People would be like, "Fuck, I ain't buying Mario from Microsoft."
Right? It's like, why'd you do this? Don't you want Mario and Forza? No, I don't.
Forget Mario Kart. We got Forza Mario.
I always remember when they put the Warthog and Forza. I remember I had some free codes. Nobody wanted that.
Nobody wanted them. Yeah.
Nobody wanted it.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to some of these other leaks here. Bethesda might be working on an Oblivion remaster. That's interesting.
Nobody wants that either.
Brett does.
No, Brett wants that.
Where the fuck is my Morrowind? God damn it!
There you go. See, he wants Morrowind.
I don't think they're going to go back that far. They'd have to remake the game.
To be honest, all they could just do like they usually do and just port the damn game to the console and not do any sort of a quality of life improvement.
Let's just do that bullshit. Remember there was that whole boost performance. The box just does it. Yeah.
Bethesda
talking about a remastering engine.
Yeah. Bethesda's roadmap was among the many recently released Xbox documents. It includes a sequel to Ghostwire Tokyo, a Dishonored 3, and remasters of Fallout 3 and the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Interesting.
A lot of that got scrapped already.
Yeah. Again, that's what's in the emails.
Yeah.
Moving on here. Phil Spencer says AAA game publishers lost their mojo. In a leaked email, Spencer wrote that third-party publishers were unable to replicate the quote-unquote dominance they established back in the days of video game retail after losing their advantage of highly exclusive access to consumers in brick-and-mortar stores. They have, here's the quote, have not found a way to effectively cross-promote. They have not found a way to build publisher brands that drive consumer affinity the way Disney has in video.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
just don't do anything.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Yeah.
Not wrong.
Phil Spencer noted that instead they've adopted a strategy of making huge bets on highly expensive prestige projects, relying on those risky all-in bets to establish and maintain publisher brands. He concluded that, here's the quote, the role of a AAA publisher has changed and become less important in today's gaming industry. I mean, he's kind of not wrong, because, I mean, here's the thing. Like, AAA publishers are still putting out some, but I call it low-effort games, like Fortnite and shit, You don't really have to do too much.
They're not doing the big road like they used to. But,
yeah.
No. I mean, the only one that does it, and it's still kind of low, is the whole Call of Duty. Because it's just a shooter. You can put all these other things on there, and it's fun and all, but it's not groundbreaking besides third person. I'm going to stick with that. But it's not, no. And they put a lot of money into it, though.
Yeah. Another one here. Microsoft expected a Red Dead Redemption 2 next-gen refresh. That didn't happen. This one's interesting. 3/4 of Xbox gamers had a Series S. Oh, so let me read this. The Xbox Series X and S consoles hit the market in 2020. Since then, the lower-powered diskless Series S actually made up the majority of units sold as of April.
We knew this.
Yeah, we knew this. But here's some. Remember, we don't have full numbers, right? We never had full numbers. Now we do, thanks to these leaked emails. As of April 2022, 74.8% of Xbox Series owners are gaming on the Series S, suggesting just a quarter of the base left gaming on the more powerful Xbox Series X. Again, that was 2 years ago, and more recent data suggests the install base is split 50-50. But you got to.
It was hard to get it. Remember?
Yeah. So So now it's like more half and half now. You know.
And Verizon was giving people deals. It was like 2 coworkers wound up getting it for $100
for the S.
Yeah, if you're a Verizon customer and they have on their shop, then you can get this deal. Just
Verizon now is trying to sell PlayStations.
You see, there you go. So I don't know how they got these things, but they're like, yeah, here, cheap, get them.
Yeah.
And for a long time, remember, that was the only one you could get. You couldn't get the X. So not surprised.
Yeah, this one's spicy right here. Microsoft dramatically underestimated Baldur's Gate 3. Microsoft didn't seem to think the D&D RPG would amount to much. In leaked comments, Microsoft estimated a $5 million expense to get this game on Game Pass, justifying the low monetary amount by describing Baldur's Gate 3 as here's Microsoft's exact quote, second run Stadia PC RPG.
What?
And now you know why it's not on Xbox.
Yeah, so they were so they were like, we should only really pay. We shouldn't pay more than $5 million for this because it's just a cheap RPG. That's Brett. What's your take on this? Being a Baldur's Gate fan.
So they expected it to do as well as Larian Studios did.
I guess, but what do you think of the comment, second run Stadia PC RPG?
That makes no fucking sense to me. Like,
I don't understand that.
Second rung or second run?
RUN.
Okay, that's
Maybe
not even.
That might be a spelling error.
Yeah, that statement makes zero sense. Like, those words don't make sense put in that order.
Was Baldur's Gate ever on Stadia?
Second hyphen run. But I think what they're trying to say is like second rate. I think that's what they meant.
Maybe.
But the fact they're saying Stadia PC RPG, that's not complimentary, you know?
That doesn't make sense. But then again, 3 is completely different. It's not what I expected.
Basically, they didn't think the game was going to be any good. Let's just break it down. That's what that meant.
Larian didn't expect the game to catch on. Like, they expected at most, they said, to have at 100,000 concurrent players. Yeah. They got over 1 million.
Yeah, it killed.
So, like, the game, like, in their eyes, did, we could think that, like, let's look at that. That's the very base math. The game did 10 times better than they anticipated in their eyes.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't agree with the wording assessment, but I kind of agree with the general assessment of, like, this is a niche game that's probably not going to take off, so it should be fairly cheap to acquire the rights to get it on Game Pass.
And it's not like you can compare it to Baldur's Gate 2. It's like, how was the other one? No, this is like night and day. 3 is like 10 leaps above performance visually, gameplay-wise, compared to its predecessor. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, it shows a lack of kind of understanding of the niche community, but I'll be honest, that's pretty fucking normal. Because if you compare it to other games like Pillars of Eternity, how many of y'all have played? How many of y'all have heard of Pillars of Eternity?
Are you making up games again, Brett?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, I've heard about it because you and Brian talk about it, you know?
No, because I don't like Pillars of Eternity. I've talked about Divinity, and that's kind of making my point for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, Brett. The next quote is from from Jim Ryan. He said, "Baldur's Gate 3 is a second-run Stadia PC RPG." Thoughts?
Yeah, that's the thing I don't get.
Why did Jim?
Yeah, you don't get the wordplay there, Brett.
Why would he say that?
Yeah, you missed. Yeah, went right over your head. Real quick, I want to read this. This is from Larian's director of publishing on Twitter. He says, in their defense, in Microsoft's defense, so did everyone else. Same with DOS 2. Comes with the genre and the way we approach things and the way we execute things. There just isn't any existing data that could have told anyone how Baldur's Gate 3 was going to perform. We just had to take the giant spooky leaps. So yeah, basically everybody else underestimated him too, you know?
Damn right.
So there you go.
I kind of have a tendency to want to listen to people in positions of the know, and I would say if Larian Studios is saying that, I'm going to go ahead and believe them.
Yeah. Well, the email's not rumors. That they said that in the email that they thought it was going to be a second run PC game, Stadia PC game.
Who said that?
Microsoft, man.
No, Microsoft is Microsoft. But who sent the email? Who, like, is that guy higher up? Is it someone, or is it just an employee? Who sent that?
Yeah, I could look it up for you, but that's what they believe. Remember, but basically, Microsoft didn't think the game was worth even paying more than $5 million for it. You know?
So that's what I'm saying. So I wonder if that guy is in control of what, you know, in that department of what goes on Game Pass, how much they pay these dudes.
Yeah. But regardless, they underestimated the game horribly. So you know,
it's a Rocket League situation. There we go.
Yeah, Xbox executives. That's what it says here. So it was the executives saying this, Adam. Wasn't just yeah. And again, just to reiterate, these emails are not rumored. These are actual, legit, real emails.
No.
You know,
this is people talk smack. You want to see my teams? It's pretty nasty.
Here we go. Phil Spencer wasn't impressed by the PS5 reveal. I remember people on Twitter going crazy with this. In an email to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, in an email to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, Phil Spencer described the Xbox Series XS line as a, quote, better product than what Sony has, not just on hardware, but equally important on the software, platform, and services. We have the ingredients of a winning plan. Today was a good day for us. Well, so how that turned out.
that will age well.
Yeah.
What software?
Yeah, what software exactly? You know,
I think he meant OS because he was talking about the console and the look of it.
Yeah, but even 3 years later, which console is winning? You know,
I will also say that people have also said that it's also slightly more difficult to develop for Xbox because of their lousy software. So that's all his hearsay.
This just sounds like, you know, a manager reaching out to his boss saying like, hey, you know, we got this.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
like,
standard.
we got this. Yeah,
they're
not gonna say. They're not gonna be like, you know, hey, you know, I think it's amazing. They're gonna say it's fucking amazing. You're just gonna be like, no, this is, we're the best. And to be honest, if you look at the numbers of both of the consoles, yes, the Xbox has better hardware. You know, they can run more games in full 4K. So theoretically, they should have the better thing. And they obviously had a lot of really great announcements, you know, pre-launch. But you know, who would have thought? Every single one of those things are all delayed or never have, or are all ghostware.
And even if you didn't believe all
the game that was in development longer, right, wasn't foreseen as being a console exclusive is the thing that shows up first. So none of that shit that they had in the pipeline, you know, before they bought Activision. I mean, before they bought Bethesda and ZeniMax, I think they're called. None of that shit was ready.
And even if he didn't buy into his own bullshit saying that in the email, I mean, he's not going to say anything else because his ass is on the line.
No, he's not going to say any of that.
Exactly. He's not going to say it. He's not going to, you know what? we're going to be in some trouble. What are we going to do? You know what? I got vacation time coming. You know what I mean? It was the same thing like with Jim Ryan when he sent that email, but like, well, listen, Activision and Microsoft, they're doing it. But you know what? We're good. We're good. We got good numbers.
It's the irrational confidence.
Yeah, that's
that most people have is, you know,
that's what you got to do.
You know,
especially
even
in that position.
Every head coach in the start of a football season, they're going to say they're going to win the championship.
Exactly. It's like
even the lousy teams.
Exactly.
Even the lousy teams. Yeah.
And then when it's open season for draft, half the team is gone. I was like, but you just said you had a winning team. Bet why? I don't get it. Pablo is really good. You said he's going to be the best, and now you sold him.
He gone.
Okay, this one's interesting, and I may need to read a previous article because apparently some craziness happened. So remember how Yakuza Like a Dragon was a quote-unquote exclusive on Xbox for a while?
Yes.
And we were like, oh, wow, that's a good get for Microsoft. That's a good get. Apparently, it was a mistake. It was a fluke that it became exclusive, you know? So I may need to actually read this. This is interesting. Again, from Kotaku. Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
I'm exclusive? Really? That I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, that's right.
When it launched,
yeah.
That's right, because when they wanted to send a review, I was like, yeah, send it for PlayStation. I was like, no, we can't do that, only Xbox. And I'm like, but why? And they didn't give me a reason.
Why?
I forgot it was that's very random.
Yeah, so let's read this. Again, I'm just learning this now. The answer is both complicated and silly. Back in November 2020, the Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5 launched with a handful of exclusives and a lot of ports. It was mostly ports. Well, I agree with Kotaku on that, mostly ports. One of the oddest next-gen exclusives at the time was Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is available at launch on PS4. What is that noise, by the way? All right, thank you. I love how I always say that. It just stops, and nobody fesses up.
And nobody fesses up.
Anyway, one of the oddest next-gen exclusives. Brett, is that you?
That is my dog. That one is my dog.
Yeah, can you mute yourself for a little bit, dude? So I could read this, thanks. One of the oddest next-gen exclusives at the time was Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is available at launch on PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series XS. A few months later, this odd new entry in the popular Yakuza series finally launched on PS5. At the time, folks online assumed Microsoft had cut a deal with Sega to keep the game off the next-gen PlayStation. Others suggested the PS5 version had technical issues that forced it to be delayed. The real reason? Sega signed a few too many deals with too many companies. As revealed in September 19th's massive Xbox leak, which included a load of emails and private documents from inside Microsoft, it seems Xbox boss Phil Spencer was just as surprised as gamers when he realized there wasn't going to be a PS5 port of Like a Dragon. In leaked emails from June 2020, Spencer is seen sharing this tweet with IGN and asking if the game was next-gen exclusive. Another executive responds by telling Spencer that it isn't and that it will be available on PS4 as well as Xbox One and Xbox Series X. Spencer then replies with, it's, quote, funny that Sega doesn't even list the PS5 on its website. After some further chatter, possibly doing a Sega-themed Xbox in Japan, Damon Baker, then in charge of global gaming partnerships and development, laid out why Microsoft was going to have an exclusive next-gen port of Yakuza Like a Dragon. So right here, we got a couple bullet points. According to him, Sony had a 12-month exclusivity deal with Sega for the PlayStation release of the game in Japan and Asia. This meant Microsoft couldn't release an Xbox version of the game in Japan until that deal ended. However, Microsoft also had a contract with Sega that included a parity clause that prevented Sony from releasing a next-gen version of Like a Dragon in Japan until Xbox did. And because Xbox couldn't release any version of the game in Japan until the PlayStation deal was done, Sony wasn't able to release a PS5 version in the region. That's fucking crazy.
Tetris.
Whoa.
It's like the Tetris deal with Atari and all that shit. Like you can release it overseas, but you can't release it in the States. And like, that is complicated.
And it says right here, in the same email, Baker shared the news that Sega had no plans to launch a PS5 version in the United States, adding, it sounds like we now have a time exclusivity for next gen. So even they were like, oh shit, okay. Wow, that is some loopy, crazy, labyrinthian shit right there. So there you go. So it wasn't like a master plan. Like, wow, because we even thought that. We were like, oh shit, that's a good get for Xbox. Good on you, Xbox. Nope, turns out it was a fluke.
See, because it's weird because they never, they always, both of them, they always tout when it's like, it's, time exclusive, whatever. They never did that for this. That's why I was really confused. I'm like, I thought it was a production issue or, development. Oh, we have trouble porting.
It's too bad we didn't look at it in Japan.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we have for obvious reasons, Well, all right, so there's that. And then, here's the other big one, the other big leak. The quote unquote next Xbox.
Next box.
The next box. The code name is Brooklyn. That's interesting.
Where Brooklyn at?
Brooklyn. Yeah, it's
Or it could be.
it's but they spelled it wrong. It's Brooklyn with an I. I'm like, Brooklyn. Let's go to
Maybe
Y.
but maybe that's their code name.
Maybe that's they just had Californians spell it. We let me just read this. We didn't just get scans of emails from very serious people. We also got some images and details of possible forthcoming hardware, including a cylindrical-shaped Xbox Series X that won't include a disk drive. Codenamed Brooklyn, the leaked data indicates that the possible hardware refresh will include a more internal storage, faster Wi-Fi, reduced power, and a more immersive controller. If this thing does see the light of day, I'll happily refer to it as a trash can. We got to talk about this fucking thing now, man. It looks like an Alexa device,
It looks like there's also an Apple device that looks exactly like that too.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah,
the whatever the fuck, the Apple speaker. Yeah,
the HomePod.
HomePod. Yeah.
I'm really thinking this was that other one that they wanted to create, and then they were like, we just couldn't get all the games to play on it because they were trying to condense everything, squeeze it into this little box. And they kept saying it. It was like, oh, we're gonna have this little Xbox, and you're gonna put it everywhere and carry it with you to people's houses. And then they scrapped it. And I'm like, what happened? It can't play everything. That's pretty much it. Can't fit all that hardware in a little box. So I'm assuming that's what that is.
So
let's talk about anymore.
It's not a box; it's a cylinder. So let's talk about some of the stuff we were talking about.
Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Box like console box, small box, not like. But it was like they wanted that you can fit it in your bag and take it to your friend's house and stuff.
Yeah. So this is okay. Now here's the funny part, right? So this is supposed to be a refresh of the Xbox, right? But didn't Microsoft say that the Xbox Series X was already a refresh?
Yes, they did.
So what's up with
that? How old is
that
email? Does that match up the timing of when that was said? From Phil said that recently, right? That
they said that the Series X it wasn't a refresh. It was the Pro, not a refresh.
It was a Pro. So that's recent. I remember
the Pro is a refresh. It's the same thing,
He said that recently, a few months ago, right? That was So that email of talking about that box, when was that?
I have no idea.
If that was recent, then it's contradiction right there. But if that's not, then
I think they're talking about two different things. This is the equivalent of a Slim. They were talking about a Pro, and like the X is kind of the Pro version of the S to a certain extent. But if you look at it that way, then the S is just a seriously shitty console.
Well, it's always been a shitty console.
The only reason that Microsoft is viewed as competitive with PlayStation is because of the X. So, like, when asked that question, I'm sure they were saying, like, are we getting a more powerful version of the X? So, like, his response was sales speech / disingenuous. But in this case, I think we're talking apples and oranges.
So it plans to release this thing in late 2024, the X Series X refresh.
Yeah, I wonder
the S refresh.
I want to see if it comes out.
X refresh.
Yeah. Because that's the same thing with the little box.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep calling it a box, but the other smaller portable one was supposed to come out next year.
Yeah,
it's got to be that.
Okay, so Brett, they're both getting refreshes. Is 2024? Excuse me. The S and X, they're both, according to these leaks. Let me read this. Based on the leaked documents, the new versions of the consoles will retain their existing $300 and $500 price points respectively, but offer a number of upgraded features. The new Xbox Series X will, fucking typo here, will be a cylindrical shape and have no disk drive either, suggesting Microsoft could be heading to an all-digital future. While it will retain the same 16 gigs of RAM and 12 teraflop specs as the existing launch console, it will have 2 terabytes of internal storage instead of 1 terabyte. Faster Wi-Fi 6E support, Bluetooth 5.2 radio, 15% less power consumption, and a USB-C port on the front. So it's a little more than just like a slim version.
That's different. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the new controller. The new controller, meanwhile, will be a two-tone and come with a rechargeable and replaceable battery. Wait, a rechargeable battery? Thank you. It's fucking about time.
As long as it's not just part of the damn controller, like a PlayStation one. I don't
like this design. It looks like somebody dunked it in like water or something. I don't know.
So the real quick question, like I gotta ask this because just something I've always noticed, like, why is it that always the people who are complaining about Xbox controllers not being rechargeable are people who don't play on Xbox? I'm just curious.
I use an Xbox controller when I play on PC, and I'm always complaining about that.
Do you not have the rechargeable bit in it?
No, because you have to. Here's the thing: I bought that when I had the previous Xbox. You know, the official rechargeable battery that Microsoft sells. That shit like had horrible battery life. I was forced to buy these fucking rechargeable double A's. Man, it was like this is fucking bullshit. I hate it. You know?
Bro, I have the battery packs in mine, and they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Again, like $12 on Amazon.
Yeah, again, I bought the official battery pack from Xbox, Microsoft, and it barely held a charge.
Did you update the controller?
Of course. Always update the controller.
Because there was a bug a while ago, like 2 years ago, and I remember mine would die instantly, and then I updated and then it stopped. Yeah, and it turns out it was a wrong
I will always update my controllers. But anyway, I think it's retarded. It's like, why are we doing batteries in fucking, 2023, It's like, it is a Game Boy, Remember you had to do it with the Game Boy?
No, because it makes more sense. That was the whole issue we have with the damn iPhone. Why can't we change our batteries? You could do it on other phones. Why not on this?
Yeah, I hear you, but I just don't like on this. Yeah, I just don't like using double A's. I think that's tacky and stupid.
Just get yourself a rechargeable box and then just snap it in.
I had to. I had no choice. I had to do that. But
that is the best choice. That is the best
fucking
choice.
Stupid.
I don't know. Like,
Anyway, whatever. What's up?
See, I got the battery pack. Just snaps right in. Just recharge it, just like everything else. If I have a problem with it, just pop it out. I can replace this, so I can pull this thing out and charge it by itself. It doesn't need to be in the controller. Honestly,
I'm telling you, I bought that thing and the battery.
And I'm telling you, you didn't buy this thing because this thing is not an official Xbox thing. It is $12 on Amazon for the third time.
Yeah, but again,
so
I bought the shit from Microsoft. They're the ones that's the one they want you to use. I
get the standing on principle.
You would think the official Xbox thing, you wouldn't need to go to some third party.
Exactly.
To do it.
I don't. I have all the official ones, and I have 4 controllers. I haven't had that issue.
Yeah. Anyway,
or else I just tell you, like, this shit sucks.
Yeah. Let's keep going with this controller. More importantly, Microsoft
haptic feedback, right?
Microsoft's internal strategy documents claim the controller will offer precision haptic feedback, wider buttons and thumbsticks, and an accelerometer. The controller will also apparently turn on simply by picking it up rather than pushing a button. It will it'll be priced at $70.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to pick it up.
Which is the same amount as a PlayStation controller currently.
No, well, that Spider-Man one is like $80, man.
Well, that's a special controller. They're giving you Spider-Man tax, so don't even count that shit.
Yeah. Okay. So check out. According to the roadmap, the controller will arrive in May of 2024, followed by the Series S refresh in September and the Series X refresh in November. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer had previously told Bloomberg and others in interviews throughout the summer that the company was not working on any substantial power upgrades with current consoles prior to the next-gen hardware, which suggests the leak is currently planned for 2028. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so basically this is a refresh in 2024, and then the next Xbox will come in 2028. Which
seems about right. That seems fair.
Yeah, which would make this generation 1 year longer than the previous two. But it kind of makes sense, given COVID and all that shit. It makes sense. Interesting.
Dude, they're breaking their own backs to pat themselves on the back over a fucking controller. Like, cool, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, this particular email leak, this is what really got fucking Twitter. Like, the memes were crazy, because of this crazy shape and all that. So interesting stuff. And the last thing here that's listed, Microsoft sees its next Xbox as a cloud hybrid machine. Slides projecting the future of the Xbox platform indicate that Microsoft is very much looking to the cloud where to help power its post Xbox Series X console, which is looking at a 2028 release date. Microsoft describes such a machine as a, quote, next generation hybrid game platform capable of leveraging the combined power of the client and cloud to deliver deeper immersion and entirely new classes of game experiences, end quote. That's not very shocking, is it? You know,
they tried it with Crackdown 3. It was the same thing, and he couldn't get it to work. It's too reliant on third parties. It's reliant on the customer's internet service and their speeds to see if they could even produce any of that.
Yeah,
it'll never work. I don't know.
Stop trying to make hybrid consoles. Just focus on the fucking console. Like the last time you tried to make a hybrid console, you almost bankrupt your fucking company.
Shit, we're hearing that now with Steam. They got another console coming out.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, and people thought I was bullshitting. I'm like, no.
It's like, just focus on the Steam Deck.
Exactly.
Just
focus on what works. Don't go back to that. Oh, well, we're going to make this and we're going to do a subscription service.
No. See, the problem with Steam was that they didn't make their own Steam box before. They tried to get other people to make it.
Yeah, they had gold.
That was not good. We all talked about that.
If Steam wants to make its own Steam box, I think that we can talk. But until then,
see you in 2 months.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's all the big Xbox leaks. Obviously, Twitter had a field day with this shit. The memes were flowing. From the PlayStation side, particularly making fun of Xbox. So I
get the memes, but about what? I get the
really,
make memes, but there's nothing substantial here. I'm disappointed.
No, it's not like it's any sort of real megatons that are coming out of this. These are things that seem right for the same thing. We didn't think Baldur's Gate was going to do very well. Okay, that's fine. A lot of people didn't think that was going to do well. Even the company that made it didn't think it was going to do amazing, do as amazing as it did. They wanted to eventually buy. They threw around the idea of possibly buying Nintendo, but it never went anywhere. The only really substantial thing is that the fact that there might be another Xbox, but even then, Spencer's on Twitter saying, "Hey, wait for our real plans."
Yeah. Although he did take to Twitter to talk about this. I'll read what he says. We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready. So there you go.
The real plans. So there you go.
But then if they match up, then you'd be like, busted.
Yeah. Well, not really busted because the emails are real. They weren't
But if it's still relevant, meaning if it does come to pass, if I tell you that my next car is going to be red and the email said red, I'm like, no, it's not going to be red, and it comes out.
But they're not denying this stuff. They're not denying any of this, Adam. That's the difference.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They just said that real plan. So it could be, different type of hardware. The specs don't match up. Maybe it's not going to be a cylinder.
Yeah. Maybe they're not going to buy Nintendo.
Maybe they won't. Yeah. And maybe they will. Slides and shit. Shout out to the Discord crew. They were posting all that. Again, you guys went ham with this story, So interesting stuff. And we'll see if any of this comes to pass. But this was the biggest news of. But by the way, I gotta say this, man. I saw some Xbox guys, tagging Phil Spencer, trying to console him. Dude, he doesn't need you to, make him feel better about what happened. And also I got to bring up the other element. Let's just be real about it, man. The PlayStation guys just loving the fact that Xbox took this big L this week. They were just using it for ammo. So. But they try to get their revenge with Suitgate in Spider-Man. I got a quick segue. So now the other controversy when it comes to Spider-Man is that his suit heals up after a time, and that the game doesn't have a day-night cycle. The previous game didn't have it either.
Never had a day-night cycle.
Yeah. And people are like, in Batman Arkham Asylum from 2013, Batman's thing got gradually fucked up, as the game went on. But yet Spider-Man, gets his stuff fixed. Like, you realize Arkham Asylum took place during one night, right? One night. And Spider-Man will presumably, like the previous game, let you switch outfits. So didn't I tell you there was going to be some controversy? There's already controversy with this game, but every exclusive comes with controversy.
Just because a game did something 10 years ago doesn't mean that a game now has, I get your point that, it's technically possible, but, it's technically possible to put everything on a pizza. Does that mean you should put everything on a pizza?
Yeah.
No. You'd be like, well, we've talked about pineapple and fucking ham on pizza before. It's fine to have ham on a pizza. Do you need to add pineapple? No. Yeah, sure. Some guy 10 years ago put pineapple on a pizza. We have that technology. Should we do it? No. At a certain point, things become too fucking much. As much as I guess in a perfect world, sure, I'd love a game that's Elder Scrolls and No Man's Sky and Zelda and Assassin's Creed and Forza or something else all fucking rolled into one, but I'm not even sure if I want that game. And I get to some of you it may be immersion breaking to see Spider-Man's suit get ripped and then 5 minutes later it's not ripped. I get that doesn't make sense, but
Spider-Man's not real, so
what y'all are expecting from video games is fucking ridiculous. Back in my day, we had to have imagination. We had to pretend that little green square was fucking Link. All right,
that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I guess these guys don't play retro games. They probably don't even play Switch because they would be rage quitting over every Mario.
They're just saying this as ammo for the console war. That's all it is.
And
there is no console war. Stop it.
To them, it's real. They're going to be telling their grandkids about the console war.
Then they're bored. Go outside and do something.
The other thing is, what were they saying? Arkham, right? Then, guys, you realize that that in Arkham, they that game, the Batman suit getting ripped was a thing that was plot related.
It was plot related. Yeah, it wasn't
hold on. I'm gonna stop this right here.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen because of dynamic, things getting in the game.
Yeah,
he just his suit as the game went on got more ripped.
Yeah, it was.
Hold on. I also want to say because I'm not you guys, but I can see a lot of people out there kind of coming out being apologists about this. Here's the thing: if the suit heals up on its own, right? If you go to a cutscene or rest and the next day comes and the suit's refreshed, I think that's fine. Whatever. If the suit just kind of heals, it's if I get in a battle damage and then just stand there for 20 minutes and I come back and my suit is healed, sure, that doesn't make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense. I don't need people to walk around and be like, well, 20 minutes is the amount of time that it could have taken Peter Parker to pull a sewing pocket out of his backpack and actually sew that back together. So 20 minutes for a suit to heal is actually fucking quit it. Let's just quit with the preemptive excuses about why it may be okay for his suit to regenerate and just go with it. They designed it that way. Use a little imagination. It's fine.
But this is coming from a comic book world where he has a living suit and there's nanomachines. He's had all sorts of tech that could heal up his suit. It's happened in the comic plenty of times. And Venom is in the freaking game.
Yeah.
Of course it would heal.
But again, this is just fanboys being stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I gotta say, y'all are making me eat my fucking words, right? I had been talking about how I wanted things to be a little bit more even keeled, right? Because I think that competition breeds excellence, right? We are not even approaching competition, right? Microsoft had one fucking win in that Starfield is pretty good. right? And I'm like a week into it. Starfield's pretty good. People are genuinely happy about it. The amount of toxic fucking backlash that has resulted from that one half step toward, like, we're nowhere near equality, right? Like, PlayStation is still, like, beating the fuck out of everybody, right? In the console war. It's like a fight between, like, a 15-year-old and his 5-year-old brother, right? It is nowhere near fucking even. But that 5-year-old brother lands one fucking hit. One fucking thing, does one goddamn thing right. Finally. And the amount of just toxicity just goes through the goddamn roof. This is not the console war that I wanted. I wanted one that was made by programmers and artists vying for your affection. Not one that's just like, who can simp the hardest? Jesus fucking Christ. And people act like we're like, I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills because I woke up in a world where apparently simping for a company that doesn't know or like you is like good. And like people are having contests to see who can simp harder. Like, what the fuck is going on with you people? Not even the people in the chat generally seem pretty cool. I like you guys, but like, holy shit, this is why I stay off Twitter. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, see,
And
Brett.
you have to wait.
Yeah, no, just real quick. This is the difference, right? You just said it right there because you're not on Twitter all the time, right? So to you, okay, I'm the frog that's been slowly boiling this entire time. I haven't really noticed anything major happening because I'm in it all the time. You're the frog that gets thrown into the hot water. You're like, what the fuck? You know? So like to me, like all this shit is just normal because I've seen the gradual degradation of the gaming community, right? So I understand where you're coming from because if you're just coming into it sporadically, you're gonna be like, what in the fuck is going on? Because it wasn't like this even a year ago. But here's how sad this is, Brett. All this shit that's happening with Starfield, I saw it coming, pun intended, light years away. Saw it coming. Like, because you give Xbox one win, motherfuckers are coming in hard. You know, I saw it coming a mile away, and that upsets me because of how predictable the shit was. Maybe you didn't see it coming, but I saw that shit coming way fucking from far afield, man. You know, because
I kind of knew if Starfield hit, I wasn't willing to say Starfield. Like, even as a Bethesda fan, like, I was like, oh, there's still plenty they can do to fuck it up. Like, it hit pretty well. It seems to be generally well received. I've run into a few bugs, which means that other people are probably having a bug-free experience. So, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
But no, Xbox got to win. Because here's the thing. Very interesting to me what's happened with the gaming communities this generation, right? Basically, Xbox and PlayStation have switched places, right? Last generation, Xbox guys were hyper insecure and they would go after anybody that besmirched their company, right? Meanwhile, the PlayStation guys were just making funny memes, right? Now, it's kind of weirdly the other way. Now, PlayStation guys are hypersensitive and they go after everybody, and Xbox guys are generally enjoying their games, right? But the difference is PlayStation guys PlayStation is on the top. They are winning. PlayStation guys have no reason to feel this way. Have no reason to feel insecure. But the reason they're feeling that way is because they've been on top for so long, they don't want that to slip. So anytime the quote-unquote enemy, which is Xbox, gets a win, they got to retaliate because it's an attack on their brand. I know how crazy that sounds, but this is how these dudes think, you know? It's insane. But at least with the Xbox guys, when they were being insecure last generation, I get it because, yeah, your console was in fucking second place or third place. I get it.
Know?
Yeah.
Do you know these people?
No, it's just I'm just talking about the chatter on Twitter.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know people like this in the real world. Like I hear these things, I see these things.
Oh no, you know
that's why to me I think these have to be like little kids. They're not. They're not.
Adam, here's the thing. No, Adam, here's the thing. These guys, because they post pictures of themselves and their families, these are all adults. These are all guys our age, which makes it even worse. You know. Because younger guys don't give a fuck about this stuff. They don't even playing video games. You know, like it's older guys that, you know, we're like, oh, I remember back in the day, Sega versus Nintendo. It's those dudes, you know, who mostly engage in this stuff. It's crazy, You know, and here's the thing, I haven't met a lot of them, but I have met some of them at some of these shows. And I'll tell you this, I remember there was this one year where Manny and I were like on the floor of Xbox. And basically the guys in front of us, right, you know, the reserved seats were all for Xbox insiders or whatever the fuck they were. Yo, listening to those conversations were like real life Twitter. It was crazy. I'm like, people talk like this. You know, like, oh, yeah, Xbox is going to murder PlayStation today. Oh, I know Sony's crying right now. Guys were saying this in real life. It was amazing, you know? So these motherfuckers exist, man. These motherfuckers exist. Anyway, yeah.
Yo, man, they've been drinking too much of that Ecto Cooler.
It's crazy. Tubeka says the eye for an eye mentality is the worst. Again, it's this tribalism. It's like, okay, this is my console, my brand. I have to stick up to it no matter what. You know, there are guys that are so deep into this shit that they rock Sony everything. You know, there was motherfuckers defending Sony Pictures. I'm like, are you serious? That's how deep your fanboyism goes. Like, I can understand. Like, even though it's stupid, I can understand being loyal to PlayStation. Sure, Sony. You know, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, and you guys wonder why I've lost faith in the gaming community, because I've seen shit like this for 10 fucking years, man. Think about it like this. The very first website I ever wrote for was called Shut the Fuck Up and Play. The reason it was called that is because gamers were talking too much shit back in the day. And we're like, yo, stop talking about all this nonsense. Play your goddamn games. 10 years later, not only have things not changed, they've gotten worse. You know? It's fucked up. So you know, if I get a little salty at gamers, you now understand why, because of this shit.
Bro, I don't understand. Okay, here's what I don't fucking understand. Like, we came from, like, to those of you who too young to remember, let me educate you to how some of those old heads grew up. Like, we had, like, 4 fucking channels to watch cartoons on, right? And this is, like, on a good day. This is, like, on, like, a Saturday fucking morning, right? Half of these things were brainwashing commercials that were just trying to indoctrinate us to literally get us to subconsciously buy things or align with brands, right? So we had 4 choices of entertainment, and at least half of it was constantly trying to brainwash us. And we still didn't have the console war that you motherfuckers are perpetrating right now. Like, there was still not the toxicity and the venom. And we were constantly, like, we were just like, at a mainline hookup to propaganda beaming straight into our fucking skulls. Like, how are things worse now than in
Social media is the problem.
Yeah.
Because you know what, Brett? Because you know what happened, Brett? After you saw those cartoons and there was nothing else to watch that day, you'd go outside and actually interact with people. Now you're constantly online because you got this fucking thing in your goddamn face all day. You know, feeding you this bullshit. You know,
it's terminally online people. And like, here's the thing that baffles me the most about it. It is not related to gaming at all, but like, fucking, like, I will every once in a while I'll just peruse onto Twitter, right? And like, I'll come across like just some random ass celebrity, or even even worse, not a random ass celebrity who posts something just like, I like queso. Like, okay, so I waded through a river of shit to find out how a stranger who I've never met and never will meet feels about cheese. Turns out it's slightly favorable, kind of meh, tepid, right? Like, the amount of effort I went through and the amount of bullshit that I was exposed to get that fucking nugget of useless, annoying information. I don't know why anybody uses Twitter. I don't know why anybody would expose themselves to this unless they had to for work.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for those people because the juice is not worth the squeeze. There's never anything fucking useful I found. I can't remember any time that I've ever been like, man, I'm glad I got on Twitter.
Yeah. Real quick, I got to give a shout out to the Platform Podcast, who is now rating us with 8 of their viewers. Shout out to you guys, Platform Podcast, great friends of ours. Big Mike, what's going on? I am good, bruh.
Yo, Mike, you good?
Yo, shout out to those fellas, man. Thank you for that. Yep. Appreciate you guys jumping in here during the middle of our rants right now. But yeah,
we just yell in the clouds.
Yep, gaming community's trash now. All right, let's move on to some more hopefully delightful things. The other thing that's been going on this week, and it's still ongoing, Tokyo Game Show. TGS, baby. You know?
Oh,
So,
you muted?
Yo, Manny, you muted?
Tokyo Game Show.
Tokyo Game Show. You know? All right, so basically, some of the big conferences we had are from Capcom, Xbox, and a few others. So let's get into it. So let's go with Capcom. Let's see what they revealed. Oh, Brian, here you go, man. Right off the jump. Dragon's Dogma 2, man. How hyped are you for this game?
I'm actually quite hyped. I actually was watching it just now, and it seemed like they did do a lot of new cool things in there. So, like new classes, new hybrid classes. They have 2 maps now. Like, well done, guys. Yeah, it looks dope. You have cat people now, so good thing. I guess all those furries now are quite happy. So well done for them, I guess. I don't know. Don't care. It looks cool. It's Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm excited. I'm just waiting to see when they announced it because I don't remember them saying a date yet. So I'm just waiting in the wings.
Yeah, no date yet. It says no date. It's coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC via Steam. So, current gen only, which is good. Cool. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one. Especially, what's his face on Twitter? The cat guy. Oh my God, I forgot the guy's name. His real name is some fucking... Anyway, he was like the biggest Dragon's Dogma fan besides Brian. All right, what else do we have here? Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy gets a release date. So more Ace Attorney for you guys.
Yeah, it's the sequels. They're nice, up-resed versions of them. I think Apollo Justice games are actually 3D.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, they're actually 3D. They're not like 2D. Well, it's a mixture. So some of them are 3D, some of them aren't. So, but yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Richard Bailey's favorite game, Exoprimal, gets an update.
Oh,
It's coming out October 18th. I can't believe people are still playing this fucking game. That's the one where the dinosaurs come out of a black hole, right? That's stupid.
Wait,
Yep, that's a black
what's
hole
coming to
dinosaur
it?
game.
So it's a title update too, Brian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. It's like, wait, what? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Since you're interested, I'll read it here. Exoprimal title update 2 due out October 18th adds a new final mission type, map, and gear for the online team-based action game alongside Street Fighter 6 collaboration. So there you go.
Cool.
And you get pumpkin heads.
Rathalos is in there apparently. Rathalos armor skin set for Murasame. All right, cool. That's for Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Now. What the? Oh, that's a mobile shit. Skip. Don't care. Street Fighter 6 Aki claws her way into the fray. What is this? Again, I'm new to
Character.
this. It's a new. Is this a brand new character, Adam?
This character, yeah.
Like was she was in 5, right?
I don't think so.
She's an understudy of Fang. From Street Fighter 5. Okay. But maybe it's like a redone version of that character. I don't know. November. Okay.
They said we were supposed to be getting new characters. That's some bullshit. They're doing refreshes already. It just came out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even Homegirl is sort of like a refresh of a character.
Yeah.
The girl, the ninja girl, they got in there.
Yeah. Wait, is that all Capcom showed? That this article's over. I guess that's it.
I think that was it.
Okay.
I think they spent a lot of time on Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's actually a long thing for that.
The Monster Hunter thing was literally like, wait for our Monster Hunter blah 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 event, and that was all they said.
Oh wow. All right, so we'll see. Xbox digital broadcast at Tokyo Game Show. Everything announced. So let's see here. Xbox checks.
New Xbox.
Yeah, I'll just go down the line here. Xbox checks in at Hotel Barcelona. What the fuck is that?
Is it Barcelona?
No, the game is called Hotel Barcelona.
Sounds wild.
Hotel Barcelona.
Wait, it's a Suda 51 game?
Yes.
Interesting. Manny, what is this about? if you know.
I don't know. I just knew that he was making a new game.
Yeah, this trailer. What the fuck? What is this, Robin? This looks stupid. This is Suda 51? The fuck is
it's a
this?
Suda 51 game. So.
No, but it's like a 2D action game, but like with like it's got to be the stream. The graphics look terrible on this. All right, whatever. Who cares? Octopath Traveler 2 is coming to Xbox, so there you go for like the two guys on Xbox that actually play RPGs. Forza's Japan course got a turn in the spotlight, Adam. There you go.
Forza's Japan. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Fallout 76 delivers a megaton. What the fuck is this? Bethesda's Fallout 76 is getting an Atlantic City update. Oh boy.
Oh, don't tell me with real money. Don't do that.
Yeah. No, it's just in game. There's a casino. All right.
Yeah, but you know how? You want to keep playing? You can then buy these like shark cards.
Oh god.
And that's what.
No, is this a new map or is this an excursion or whatever the fuck they're called?
All right, let me just read this paragraph. Bethesda's Fallout 76 is getting an Atlantic City update, and during the show, art director Jonathan Rush announced it's so big it's being split into 2 releases. The first release comes out on December 5th and features new locations, new factions, new missions, and new rewards. There's even a casino, new Vegas vibes, anyone. Steam players who already own the game can join the fun early with Atlantic City available to the public on October 3rd. So there you go. That's all the info I got for you.
Oh, shit. So this is like an actual expansion.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. They're going to get me.
Uh-oh.
Tons of bitches. That's got it. The game is fun now. And if they're adding content and locations, like the last time they had added the thing where like you basically did enough missions and it allowed you to go do like what would be a dungeon and any other thing. Like it took you to a separate location. It took you to the pit and like, but it wasn't just a place that you could go and stay and like hang out or do missions in or anything like that. It wasn't like a land. It was more like a mission that you went on. So if this is actual new locations, new quests, new factions, then damn, all right. I'm hesitant, but I'm like, so basically you're giving us what we've been asking for since the game got remade? Because after the game got remade, we're like, yes, this is great. Can we have more? And they're like, hey, remember that thing we did 3 years ago? We're doing that event again. So this makes me happy.
Cool. Next up here, The Elder Scrolls Online finally comes to Japan. I didn't realize it wasn't released there, but shouldn't say I'm surprised either.
Oh no.
Why oh no?
Oh, just prepare for a wave of super efficient min-maxers.
Oh man. Phoenix Wright, the same Phoenix Wright game we just discussed before, it's coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Phoenix, it's coming to everything, to be honest.
Oh, no, excuse me. It's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. That's a different trilogy. This is the original ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, that I think, as I remember, I think that was released for PlayStation.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But this is coming to Xbox Game Pass now.
It's coming to Xbox Game Pass. So, hey, you can play it for free now.
Yeah, there you go. Althea, Wrath of a Fairy. What the fuck is this shit? A fantasy adventure developed by 2 brothers. It's set in a mysterious and dangerous. Whatever, who cares?
Well, what's it look like? Come on.
Let me look at this. What am I looking at here? I don't even know how to describe this. It's a stylized game. It looks like shit. That's what it looks like. All right, there you go.
Jeez.
Moving on here, Ayuden Chronicle. This shit, people are still talking about this. Microsoft showcased Suikoden spiritual successor Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which is set to launch into Xbox Game Pass when it comes out on April 24th, 2024. All right, there you go. Exoprimal update, we talked about that. Infinity Strash Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai gets a new trailer. That's a long title.
Yeah, but it's not a full-on Dragon Quest game.
No, it's action RPG. Yeah.
It's an action RPG, yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, confirmed for Xbox Game Pass. Interesting. That's a cool game. I played some of that at a preview event a couple weeks ago. Good
Yes,
stuff.
I played that as well.
Oh, is there a demo? Or
Well, no, I played the demo at PAX.
PAX. Good stuff. So, man, it was on the boat too, right?
It was not on the boat. It was like after the boat.
It was after the boat. Okay, because the boat
It was
had
on the
like,
island.
Okay, cool. Because when I played, it was on a boat, and basically the boat had like a fucking tournament place. It had like a brothel, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. It had all that.
Yeah,
that was that. I thought it was an island.
No, it was on a boat. Basically, the main things you could check out is like you could change your clothes in like a yeah. So yeah, and then not a brothel, by the way, it's a hostess club. And then the big thing was the tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad that the letting people play. That's good. Mineko's Night Marker. What the Night Market? What the fuck is this
Night
shit?
Market? That don't sound good.
Yeah, no, it's a cute action adventure game. What? Let me look at this shit real quick. All right, it's a 2D game. Looks like some farming sim, maybe. Stupid. All right, My Lovely. What the fuck is this, man? My Lovely Empress, the third installment of the My Lovely series. I never even heard of this series.
Somebody likes
Adam, they're making shit up, man.
They have to be.
I mean, it could.
They made a new My Lovely game?
Yeah, right. Hey, shit.
Brett's like, I'm busy. Fallout.
Fallout. Fuck, man. I missed that big announcement.
I mean, I would suspect that a lot of games also been, are definitely being showed to
Japan, audiences
to be for Japan stuff. So
is it a dating sim game?
No, it's not. It looks like some like historical type of I don't know what the fuck kind of game this is.
It's a whack game. That's what.
Yeah, you're right. All right, moving on here. Pal World coming to Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
POW?
Yeah, that's Pal. That's Pokemon
with guns.
Yeah, Pokemon with guns. Yeah.
That's a thing.
Dude, I've been waiting for this game. I'm not sure if it's going to be gloriously awesome or gloriously terrible, but it's going to be fucking glorious.
You'll know it's glorious when Activision makes a Call of Duty version. Then you know.
Yeah.
It's worked because then they.
Dude, everything that I've seen about it seems like it's not just Pokemon with guns, but it's like Pokemon with guns that can sometimes ride vehicles, but also you can attack the trainer instead of just attacking the Pokemon. It's more it's basically anytime you sat around with your friends and you were like, you know what Pokemon should be? It's that game. Somebody made that game.
Yeah. All right, next up here, Party Animals gets a Ori crossover. Never even heard of Party Animals.
Party Animals is
free
fun.
to play game, right? Isn't it the free to play game?
It's on Game Pass. That's what you mean.
No, I thought it was a free to play.
Good enough for Game Pass?
Like like Fortnite and all that type of stuff. Because they're always giving away free shit for it. Like even on what's that thing called? Twitch. Right now that we're on, it's giving away free shit for it.
I mean, maybe Party Animals is actually kind of fun. I forget how to explain it. There's a game. It's kind of like Octodad, where it's intentionally clumsy and difficult, and that's kind of part of the game. But each button controls I think R1 and L1. R1 controls your right arm, and L1 raises your left arm, and X grab. So if you run forward and smash into another player and press X to grab, and then L1 and R1, you'll lift both arms, and since you grabbed them, it'll lift them above the head.
Oh, that's more
and then if you bring them
than a UFC game. What the hell?
Yeah, and then if you let them go, it's basically like wrestling brawl. If you raise one arm and run and spin at just the right time, you'll clothesline somebody. So you control each arm individually, and then there's a button for grabbing and a button for bending over and a button for straightening your arms. So the challenge is putting these things together, and then it's just
me out. You just turned me off to this game. Don't make any deal for it.
Okay, it's fun. It's a fun party game. It's a brawler. Everybody beats the shit out of each other and tries to pick each other up and throw each other off ledges while being incredibly clumsy.
It's like Gang Beast. Gang Beast is easier than that. It sounds like you could do the same thing though. In Gang Beast, you throw people off of elevators.
Yeah. It kind of seems like Gang Beast, but harder to control.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have here? Persona 3 Reload and Persona 5 Tactica get new trailers. Persona 3 Reload is coming February 2nd across all platforms and Xbox Game Pass. That seems to be the theme here. Persona 5 Tactica gets a new trailer. That's a tactics kind of game, which is kind of interesting.
Those are fun.
Yeah. PUBG Battlegrounds, Erangel map shown off. I didn't realize people were still playing PUBG.
Oh, that's made a comeback. At least on PC.
Don't call it a comeback. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, Wulong Fallen Dynasty DLC.
Shit.
Ooh.
So
goddamn, I'm gonna be so goddamn busy.
I was so happy when I rage quit that because I was like, now I got all this extra time to play FIFA. Because I thought I was really gonna play that game. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. I had some buddies who were gonna play this, and then I was like, oh wow, this isn't fun. And I put that delete, free up some space.
I'll be Wulong in 3 days.
Oh, nice.
That was too long.
Wulong was too long. Oh man. Okay, so here's some just random stuff. This is from some site called Pocket Tactics. Because there's a bunch of other littler streams happening. So they kind of compiled some of the stuff. Koei Tecmo's slot is entirely dedicated to the upcoming Fate Samurai Remnant game, so we don't care about that. Level 5's TGS stream showcase a wide range of amazing games coming to Switch only. We don't care about that. The Sega Atlas stream started the way all good Sega streams should. We're talking about Sonic. Okay, so they showed the Sonic game. All right, Persona Tactica. All right. 505 Games with a little light on Switch. Marvel Puzzle Quest. What the fuck is that? Yuden Chronicles. Sounds like a bunch of horse shit. All right. So what else is whatever. Doesn't seem like a lot of big stuff is coming out of TGS this year. Granted, TGS never like a bombshell type of show anyway, but
it's been a while since it's been a bombshell type of show. But
Yeah.
the kooky way the industry is right now, there hasn't been really any megaton TGSs in a long time.
yeah.
By the way, have you seen the first few minutes of the Hellboy video game?
I didn't know they were making a Hellboy video game.
Yeah, and apparently it looks like Mike Mignola's style. It's kind of cool looking.
Ooh, what kind of game is it?
Yeah. Looks like an action adventure game. He's punching stuff.
Third person?
Yep, third person.
Ooh, I'll have to check that out.
That could be fun.
But yeah, as we said, TGS is ongoing. So if anything else happens, so we'll talk about it on the Sunday show, provided you guys ask us questions. But yeah, it doesn't seem like, so far anything major. Unless you count Dragon's Dogma 2. I think that's probably the biggest game show so far. All right, moving on. A couple of little news things here because there were other things going on in the industry. This one's interesting. That Activision was briefed on Nintendo Switch 2 last year. Activision executives met with Nintendo in December to discuss plans for next generation Switch, which is described as closer to PS4, Xbox One performance. We told you this. We told you that the Switch successor will probably be PS4-esque. It's not going to be like, PS5 level. No fucking way. That's not the way Nintendo rolls. So, Chris, have you been keeping up with the story?
No. That's the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, so let me read. This is what the document said. Given the closer alignment of two Gen 8 platforms, PS4, Xbox One, in terms of performance in our previous offerings, it is reasonable to assume we could make something compelling for the NG Switch as well. This is what Activision's saying. It would be helpful to secure early access to development hardware prototypes and prove that out nice and early. Okay, cool. This apparently came out of the FTC talks. Very interesting. But again, nothing we haven't kind of speculated on our end. We're like, the Switch 2 is not going to be, top end hardware,
They've never done that, and they're not going to start now.
Well, they haven't done it since the Wii, you mean,
But that wasn't even top end.
No,
cool.
Adam. I'm saying like GameCube was the last console that Nintendo released that was like top end shit. And before that, they had the N64, the SNES. So Nintendo, because people say they've never done this. Yes, they have. They did that throughout the whole 90s. Those all they literally had the name N64, 64 bits in the title. But starting with the Wii, it was like, okay, just, the Wii is basically just the GameCube again, last time was GameCube. So yeah, there you go. Is anybody excited for the Switch 2? It's whatever, man.
We got Steam Deck, man.
Yeah, I mean, you see, Chris, you said you said the quiet part loud.
Yeah, and then you're talking about like crazy. I read your the Legion Go thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much stuff coming out that would destroy that immediately. You know, so that's what do you need that for?
Yeah, you don't really need it. You don't really need this thing. Like, there's better alternatives now. What about the Nintendo games? Well,
you can play those on it.
Yeah,
we're not endorsing anything. We're not endorsing
there are
anything.
ways.
Yeah, there are ways. We're not endorsing anything, but there are ways.
Just go on the YouTubes.
Yeah,
there's a million people that'll show you for some clicks if I can subscribe.
There you go.
Show you whatever you want to.
All right, and the last thing I saved the best for last, at least for Adam. Division 3 coming.
Division 3. That was very upsetting news. That was the most
really because it's not set in New York.
No, it's because they're just announcing. It's like, you know what? I think we're gonna make it. So there is no team. The whole announcement was announcing that they have a guy who's part of the project. He was on Division 1. That he is now in charge of putting together a team to work on a Division 3 and to work on the franchise, to reestablish the franchise. So basically, restart all the stuff that they had planned before. People don't know. They did an audio book. They did a comic book. We were supposed to have that Netflix movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. He even confirmed he's part of it. What happened to that? Don't know. So there was all these things happening. And then even in their report, that earlier in the year when it was a financial talking about, we have big plans for our big titles and franchises, and they kept talking about the Division. I'm like, but you haven't produced anything. The mobile phone, no one cares. Heartland, which is that their survival mid-type game. It's a weird game. It's not a full Division type game. That hasn't come out. That's constantly in testing phases. So I don't understand. What's the holdup? But anyway, now they're like, well, we got this one guy, and that's his sole purpose, is to make sure he can put together a team for Division 3 and to work on the brand and the franchise and put some respect on this shit. It's like, okay. So what, 2026, 2027? It would have been better if they said, hey, we're announcing Division 3. All right, when is that? Oh, we've been secretly working on it. It's coming out next year or the summer. No. This is just like with the Skate. Remember the Skate 4 announcement?
Yeah.
That when they announced it, what did they say? Well, we agreed we're going to make one. Don't know when, but we just agreed we're going to do it. And that's what this was. They just finally said, all right, we're going to do it. It's going to take years. So that's why I was not excited. Shit. Now we got to wait forever. By the time that comes out, I'll be retired.
You'll be retired.
I'll be retired. I was like, I was telling Carlos. I was like, look at this. I'm going to be too old. You're going to be like, oh, can you hold this controller? I got arthritis. I can't hold the controller. Give me the little pen in my mouth. Can I play the game that way? No.
And where did you say it was set?
West Germany. That's when I was throwing it out. I don't know. Because they said that we're going to go in new locations. Well, go somewhere where no game has really gone. And
go where no game has ever gone before.
Well, bring it up.
They went to the Final Frontier and nobody liked that.
Yes, So they got
Division in space. Oh my god.
No, thank you. We don't need that shit. But that was the most upsetting. So yes, on one side, it's great to see that they didn't kill the franchise, because that was a big concern that they were just going to let it die, which made no sense because it still makes money. That's the thing. As much as people like, oh, this and that, they were touting they got like 4 million players across all platforms. I know they're not all doing that shit now, but people are playing it. You can see the numbers on Steam. People playing it, and they're still producing content for it. You still have seasons. Come this Christmas, they're hinting at they showed the picture of the Brooklyn Bridge, part of the DLC, the new season. So it looks like
is it Brooklyn with an I or
no, with the Q. Sorry, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But people still play it, and they make their money. People are like, oh, they're making their money. Well, they're fucking cosmetics and shit. They're always doing those outfits. Remember when we played that time Resident Evil and all that? Still doing those type of things. And people buy it. People like cosmetics and exotics and all kinds of stuff. They're always adding new weapons and things. And so there's an audience there. It's just we've been waiting for a long time, and now we're going to be waiting even longer. And that's upsetting because I wanted Division 3 yesterday. I was ready. And I'm not getting it anytime soon. That's what that told me.
The Division 2 came out in 2019?
No.
It was before that, I think.
It was before that.
No, I'm looking at it 2019.
Oh,
so
wow. For some
4
reason,
years.
I thought it was 18.
That's what I was saying, 18.
Yeah, so it's going to be 4 years. Or no, it's been 4 years. Damn,
It has
was
been
March.
4 years. Yeah.
Damn,
Jeez.
so yeah, it's
And Division 1 was 2016. Because there was a short window with that, and a lot of
2015.
People, 2015. All right.
But pretty much 2016, it was December. So
No. Because I remember when that came, I was like, shoot, ready? And they started announcing a second one. And it was because they wanted to fix some things, and they had plans for DLC, and I was like, forget it, we're just going to make a whole... Because the rumor was that the DC was going to be an add-on, just like how you could take the helicopter in Division 2 to locations. That was going to be it. You take this helicopter, go to DC, do stuff. But then they kept expanding it, and then we're like, hey, you know what? We'll just make another game. But when we're going to release this soon, and then sure enough,
my everlasting memory of the Division 2 was playing with you guys before Tripocalypse.
Yeah, your Tripocalypse, yep. Where was that?
It
Korea?
was me.
You went to Korea that year, Carlos?
So that was March 2019. Yes, yeah, it was Korea.
Yeah.
So we were playing. I think it was me, you, Adam, and Chris.
Yeah.
And maybe someone else.
Probably the voice of God, you know.
So it was us, and we were playing online. We're going around the map. Adam looking for his goodies and everything, and then we pass by this fucking nonchalant fucking house filled with people, and they wiped the fucking floor out of us.
Man,
we're like, all right, we're good. We just ended. That was the last time I played. I don't know if you remember that part where it's like we just passed by this house.
Were we in the dark zone? Was that
no,
or just NPCs?
We were just walking. I forgot where the hell we were going. We were walking, across the map, and then there's this house full of people. I was like, all right, let's loot the fuck out of these people. They looted us.
I remember that they wrecked the fuck out of us, man. We were too low level for those guys.
That was too messy.
Man, I still remember my cousin. I've still never heard him that angry in my life, man. After the update and shit where they gift his character. What the fuck?
It was. We were standing, I always remember we're standing right in front of the White House. It's raining. We're looking. We found all that information. They did all the reset. He's like, "Yeah, I'm out." And then he left, and that was it.
He never came back.
he never came back.
Yeah, because he grinded for weeks and shit, and then they did the patch and they reset everything.
They did. Yeah, they reset a bunch of what they reset stats and shit. A lot of people flipped out over.
Man, I feel about Starfield New Game Plus.
Oh shit. Oh man. All right, so that's it for us, people. Interesting week in gaming for sure. And it looks like the hits will keep coming because there's more games coming this year. Including a one with a wall crawler that's causing a lot of controversy out there.
Before we go, anybody play that Life of P or whatever?
Liza P.
It's on the game. It's on the Game Pass.
It's on the
Did you
Game
play
Pass.
it?
I haven't played
No,
it.
I haven't played it.
I had a preload of it, so
Who
we'll
was
see
it?
what
Somebody was like, "Oh, it's a rogue. It's like Demon Souls or something like that." I'm like, what?
No,
I thought this was like an adventure game. Like,
no,
like
it's
Bloodborne.
yeah, it's like Bloodborne. Yeah,
Bloodborne.
It's a Pinocchio game.
No, it's
Pinocchio. Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
There's that. There's that. What's that other fucking? It's like a Super Nintendo type looking game.
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. There we go. That's on Game Pass too.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that one.
Dude.
That's the one that Rich loves that game.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, this is a great game.
Wasn't he saying
serious.
he was like it's better than Starfield? He said,
Yeah,
Yeah, you
he
did
was-
say that. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, you're right.
Rich was playing Starfield, and we're like, yo, Rich, you good? And he's like, yo, you know what is good? Sea of Stars.
Like this is the real game of the year.
This is the real Sea game that you want to play. One of the Star games you want to play.
Chris, we gotta play some Myth Force. They patched it apparently. So
Oh, they did? Yeah.
this weekend, the whole new reinstall. You know, they're pulling the fucking Call of Duty. So
Oh, you got to
reinstall the
delete
whole-
it? Oh.
No, it'll do an update, but it's the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, Syrian Air Force says Sea of Stars is also on the PlayStation subscription thing.
Oh, interesting.
On PS Plus?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not on Essential.
Not on the low, not on the
Yeah,
low
yeah.
tier.
Not on the low end.
Nope,
It's
not
the
on the
class
low
system.
end. Nope.
There you go. There you
It's
go.
classist.
All that tier system did is just literally take the original first tier of PlayStation and turn it into a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Manny.
I mean, well, they put like fucking they just put near replicant on there on the second tier. There's a shitload of games on there.
Yeah.
Oh well, don't need to pay for that though.
Yeah. You know what, Adam? Since you brought it up, what games have we been playing lately? I'll start with Manny.
What games? Okay. I over the weekend I actually got to play a game, a little smaller type of game. It's called Thunder Ray. I don't know what's going on with this year. But for some reason, there's multiple studios making Mike Tyson's Punch Out like likes.
Interesting.
So and there are at least the ones that one I played at PAX, which was Big Boy Boxing, which is really well animated. I got to talk with the developers on that. Really cool looking game. And then there's Thunder Ray, which is made by I think a Hispanic studio, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's very like. I think it looks like at least from the credits, it looks only like 5 people made the damn game, and then it's fun. They have all kinds of fun characters. The characters it takes very much from anime and stuff like that. So a lot of the bad guys sort of look like bad guys from like anime. Like was one guy that looks kind of like Piccolo, and you beat the shit out of him. And there's another character that looks like the Scorpion Girl from Gurren Lagann. So it's like sort of like a mixture of different like some of them look like giant monsters and stuff like that.
Because you're a boxer that beat up everybody. Now you go into space for a real challenge.
Yeah, in other words, it's like he's like Mr. Dream. Like if you took control instead of Middle Mac, he had Mr. Dream, and he beat everybody on Earth. So he goes into he gets kidnapped and pulled into space, and he's beating up a bunch of aliens. So there you go. It's fun. You like as you go through the game, you get more like instead of like the Star Punch when Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Well, as the game goes on, you sort of gain levels as a thing, and then your final move gets even more stronger than before. One of them, like the final one that you get, kind of looks like Kenshiro doing the like you see all these like lines and action lines everywhere. It's pretty fun. Very short game. It's only $14 though.
That's good. Cool. Carlos, what have you been playing lately?
I beat Starfield.
Excuse me?
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah. I just checked before I went. Apparently I played 44 hours of it.
Holy shit. That's 43 more than me.
Yeah, man, it's a great game. I mean, it still has its issues, but overall,
What game doesn't?
yeah. But I have an issue with New Game Plus. I won't get into details, but kind of pissed me off. But yeah, it's overall it's a great game, and
it's a great series.
Hopefully, it's definitely a great. It'll probably be a great series because they'll probably make a sequel from this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game. Believe the hype. Bethesda does it again. I know some people in the chat aren't going to be happy.
Yeah, the Discord crew.
But yeah, I beat this game. Now I'm like, okay, so what's next? Because Baldur's Gate's in my queue, Sea of Stars is in my queue, and then we got Phantom Liberty coming out, and we have Spider-Man coming out. So I'm like, all right, Phantom Liberty comes out in like 6 days. I think I'll just I'll take a rest from gaming for a little bit. But I'm taking a rest from gaming because I've been gaming so much, which is something that's pretty rare these days. What's going on?
What's happening? Yeah,
they got games.
Yeah, no, this generation. I mean, this year, like specifically, it's been weird since I'm like, oh, I'm playing video games again. Even though, granted, I still probably. This is interesting. I say that I probably played less games this year, but the games I played this year have had more of an impact. I think I've only played 5 games this year, though. And I'll go next. I can finally talk about it. I played and beat Phantom Liberty, Cyberpunk 2077, and as I wrote in my review, it completes the redemption arc. This is like it's just funny how the game literally took 3 years to finally get finished.
So we can finally say after so many years we can finally say it without sarcasm. It's CG Project right here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, they did their thing. They brought the game up. So basically, you get the DLC. It's like $30, but the update, is free. And here's the thing: I will say that the update, the most impactful thing it does is overhaul the perk system, so you could really kind of get like deep into your customization, but at the same time it doesn't feel overwhelming, which I really appreciate. And also you don't get penalized if you decide to redo your character again. You could take away points as you see fit, which is really cool. I also like how your armor is tied into your cyberware. It's not tied to your clothing, so you can just wear whatever the hell you want. And you also have levels to your cyberware that you can install depending on what level you are. That's kind of nice. Vehicle combat is pretty dope. That's something that wasn't really fully fleshed out in the original game. Now you can even hack cars and shit, which is pretty dope. The police system is like GTA now, where it escalates. The more shit you do, the more cops come, the crazier the units become. I haven't gotten all the stars all the way to max yet, but it's kind of interesting. But they're also a little smarter too. It's not like you just sneeze and all the cops just come after you. They know exactly where you are. They kind of if you can intelligently get away from them.
But here's the cool thing. I don't know if you probably raised it, but remember that is free.
Yeah, that's free. That's free.
Yeah,
all that's free. But the actual Phantom Liberty DLC, the expansion, I really enjoyed that. The storytelling, the characters on the same level as the main game. You even get a new ending too. Several new endings actually, because I did one version of the ending. I could probably get another, so that's kind of interesting as well. But all your stuff carries over except for your perks. Your perks get reset, so you basically have a giant pool of skill points to reset however you want. But yeah, it's a great continuation. The only thing I will say is it does feel a little disjointed, not disjointed. It feels a little cut off from the main game, and I think just because 3 years have passed, different type of writing and all that. But it's really enjoyable, man. I had a blast playing it. Overall, it took me 24 hours to beat. I'm talking about everything. I did, 100% completed it. The side mission, real quick. Oh, by the way, side missions are fucking dope too. Go ahead.
So I'm a little confused. So you said it has multiple different endings. Is it different endings to the main story or different endings to the side story?
Different endings for the side story. But apparently,
an added ending to the real game.
Yeah,
too.
that one too. I haven't tested that one out yet. But yeah, the main game gets an added ending as well. Which is pretty cool. This is why I suggest people because you will get the option to play the DLC during the main game at one point. I suggest beat the game, then play the DLC. Because the game, when you beat the game, it'll throw you right back before the final mission. So that's what I would suggest. So you could kind of have the events of the DLC affect the main game ending, but you'll still get all the cool perks and shit. So I enjoyed it a lot, man.
One person said the one thing about going in with your fully leveled up character. By the way, you get up to level
60.
Level 60 now.
Yeah, before it's 50.
The one thing about going in as a level 50 character, there you don't get to see a lot of the changes that you would see from like a fresh playthrough. Yeah. Without any of that stuff.
Interesting, because obviously my character was level 50, so I guess I don't know, but I don't know what would I have missed out on then?
Well, no, it's just things that normal game progression. So, like, in other words, how like all the Ripper Doc guys, they all sell the same stuff. You don't need to search any of them out, anymore. You can, there's just a couple, a lot of nice quality of life stuff, with the thing. And also, like, when you upgrade yourself, now you get to see a cinematic of you getting, the operation done on you now.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. But yeah, you're right, because I basically just went in with this like full level character and stuff, and I was able to just throw points wherever I wanted. But yeah, and they got rid of a lot of redundancies when it comes to the perks and stuff. So you could really kind of hone in on the character. On my PC build for the character, I have a like with a gunslinger. So I just went in just fucking murdering everything, which is a contrast to my PlayStation 5 character, which is like a hacker. Although I mixed in a little bit of hacking with this character too, because I had extra points. I'm like, I got all these extra points. Just throw some shit into hacking too. But basically, all the guides, the existing guides for perks, none of those are relevant now because the perks are completely different, completely and utterly different. But I like how they're more streamlined now. Yeah, and the game's dope, man. Like I said, I always enjoyed Cyberpunk even when it was rough because you could tell the gem was there. But now it's actually there for the world to enjoy, man. It just took 3 years. It's fucking crazy.
I said this on Twitter, man. It's proof that they most definitely needed another 3 years to get that game to a working order, man.
Yep. Pretty much,
and they should have seriously listened. And I'm sure the dev said to them, like, man, we need way more time to get this shit to be the way we envisioned it.
No problem. You got 2 weeks. Thanks. I'll be
back. You get it done in 2 weeks. Thankfully, so many people still bought that game that at least it was able to fund whatever the this project of essentially the additional final development on a damn game.
Shit, people thought it was over for them.
Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Brett?
The irony, Manny, here is 3 years is the amount of time it took from the time they announced it until they started developing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing. Yeah. It's like, because, people say, oh, the game was in development for 10 years. So it's actually only in development for 4 years, really. 3 and 4 years, yeah.
So there you go. Like, really, they officially needed an additional 5. They needed 5 years.
Well, actually, in this case, they needed 7 years.
They just needed to start working on the goddamn game when they said that they were making the fucking game. Well, that would have solved all of this. You know what it is. They did all that shit for the investors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is.
Is the inspecting God.
I saw also, Paris is also liking what they did too. So
Did he bust out the chair?
He busted out the chair, man.
Busted out the chair.
He busted out the chair, and he's like, "Yo, man, watch out for my review." I'm like, "Oh shit, it's on yellow chair and all."
I gotta say, at this rate, I don't even necessarily care if anything's coming out in 2024 because I'll still be eating good from all of this stuff, man. Like, not just the amount of stuff that's coming out, but the amount of gigantic, massive quality things. Like, this like is what 20. What's that?
Like
no, not like Assassin's Creed. That's not funny.
No, thank you.
All right, we're having a good time here. Don't try and bring us all down.
Well, in all fairness, I actually played the Assassin's Creed game Mirage, and it's fucking dope. It's like, hey, I remember these. I remember when they made Assassin's Creed games like this. I miss these. You know,
is it okay? So is it actually kind of open ended, or like because like they've gotten real bad in the you need to assassinate this guy. In the old games, they're like, I don't give a fuck how you do it, just make that guy dead.
Yeah, that's
now in the
pretty much that's how it is now.
Cool.
It's like you get more like and you know me, Brad. I'm the straightforward guy. Like I was doing this one mission, and they gave you all these options. I'm like, I'm just gonna run straight to the guy and kill him. You know.
And that's fine. That should be a fucking option too. Like I hate when that's not an option.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they took that away. I didn't mind too much because it got you engaged in the story. But yeah, in the first Assassin's Creed, this is an homage to that. Every mission I did it exactly the same. I was like, oh, that's my target. Runs to him, stab him, hide somewhere. We let the alarm go down, and then complete the mission. Every assassin was like that. You know,
that's how you play the game.
It gotten to the point where like I was like, I'd walk in and I'd want to like kick down the door and like just be like, yes, let everybody know, ring your alarm, bring your best men, for I am a parry god. And like I'd fight like fighting like a ring of like 12 guys just parry dodging and kicking the shit out of everybody because I was trying to find that Dark Souls challenge, right? Like, and so like I'd run in and be like, sometimes you want to sneak and you want to kill somebody and you want to be all sassy. Sometimes you just want to kick open the front door and be like, I'm gonna fucking murder everybody in this room.
But yeah, go ahead.
As it went on, like if you kick down the door, it's immediately like, oh, sorry, you need to stay. You need to do this mission this specific way.
Yeah.
So fuck that noise.
Yeah. Anyway, Brett, since you're talking, by the way, Brett, you're not the other Adam because you have a bunch of games you've been playing. So, what have you been playing lately?
Dude, I've been sucked into Starfield, and I've been playing it, and I can tell you, I feel like I've played a good chunk of it, but I also feel like I have not played any. This game is so unbelievably massive, and it has so many systems. Like I put down the very basicest of outposts that it doesn't even have like furniture or anything in it. Like I'm like, sure, I found a planet that has iron, and I probably need iron, so I'm going to start an outpost here and start extracting iron. And got my first space powers, so that's cool. I've been sucked into the shipbuilding. That's where I've been spending most of my time. Where I have been building a replica of an old wooden pirate ship. I named the Good Ship Uwu, and that's going well. So it's kind of dope. I'm flying around a giant old sailing ship through the stars, which is fun. But just I was like, I started to build it, and I was like, maybe I want to do something else. And then I'd seen somebody on like a YouTube video or something like that. They're like, look, they made the Black Pearl. And I remember looking at it and being like, that thing looks like garbage. I can do better. And so I had to do better. So been working on that. Still don't have enough money. I've been doing privateering to build my ship. So like I only have one mast right now, and I need to build a second mast and keep going through iterations of the ship. And it is a kind of weird, janky system. Like when you put modules together, the doors just kind of seem to randomly spawn where you don't want them to sometimes. Like, so if you want to like make a loop, you can't. And so it often makes the interiors of your ships just this weird fucking maze that is almost impossible to navigate. So it's got some jank to it, but that poses a challenge. I'm pretty happy with my results. So Good Ship Uwu is in flight, and I am officially pirating motherfuckers at this point. So all of my dreams are coming true.
Nice. All right. Anything else?
No, dude. That's the problem with the Bethesda game is there's so many different things to do. The second I'm like, I'm tired of shipbuilding, I go and I play gunslinging build. I have a pistol build. So I just run around and shoot motherfuckers in the face. And then when I get sick of shooting motherfuckers in the face, I do some exploring. And then when I want to calm down, I sit back and I fly around scanning planets. I'm telling you, dude, I'm getting such amazingly strong Mass Effect like vibes from this game that anything like this feels more Mass Effect than Andromeda did to me, at least. So I'm really curious to hear what you feel like when you play, because like, yeah, I mean it feels kind of Bethesda-y, but it also really feels Mass Effect-y. So it kind of feels like if Mass Effect were made by Bethesda, it's such a weird vibe. Carlos, I'm really curious to hear what you have to say on that, because I know you played the fuck out of Mass Effect.
I think I don't agree. I mean, I could see some of the correlations between both, but this is sticking through Bethesda the game. It's it's funny because we've been saying this for a while now. When it was announced, like, oh, it's a Fallout in space, and it's exactly that Fallout in space. But as far as the Mass Effect, from what I got from Mass Effect, primarily it wasn't the combat, it wasn't the traversal. It was more of the story, the loyalty missions, the side quests, and all that. And Starfield definitely has that, but I don't think they have it as up to that caliber.
But what about the flying around scanning planets, man?
Yeah, that's a lot of Mass Effect. Yeah, that definitely is. The only thing is, and by the way, one complaint that I will have, and we talked about this, but this was before any of us played the game, is I wish they had vehicles, even just simple ones, because sometimes I just want to go to a random ass planet and traverse it quickly instead of just running everywhere. Oh, running out of oxygen. Oh, going to the CO2. All right, wait a little second, crawl, and then go back to. So I wish there was that, but yeah, I mean the traversal, going to planets, looking at their resources and doing all that is a little bit Mass Effect-y. I mean, Mass Effect had the Mako, where you can go down there and that's how you get the resources. You can scan them, but in Mass Effect you get the resources from the planet view, and in Mass Effect in Starfield you get them from down into the actual planets. So a little bit more involved there. But after that, that's really it.
Actually, I keep feeling that the combat, and tell me if I'm crazy on this one, because I play in third person. Does it feel a little Dead Spacey to you sometimes?
Well, I don't know, because I don't play in third person.
It's too loose. I tried to do that. It's just the controls. It's the way
Bethesda games don't feel right in third person.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Like I tried.
So maybe I'm wondering, Brett, maybe that's why you feel it's like Mass Effect, since you are playing in third person.
Oh, that would actually make a lot of sense, because I always play these things in third person.
Yeah, so that's probably what it is. So when I play, because I'm going to play in first person, I probably wouldn't get that feel at all.
And their first person, their shooting mechanics and everything, this is the best shooting mechanics that Bethesda games ever had. So shout out, you use the pistols. Pistols are pretty sick. The weapons, they've leveled up with weapons. They did a really good job there, getting all these different types of weapons and different systems. But like Brett, like you mentioned, there are some similarities between both. But what I get out of a Mass Effect game and what I get out of a Bethesda / Starfield game, to me, it's a little bit different. Not to say that there aren't similarities, but I don't really have those strong connections like between both. Maybe
Mass Effect was a much stronger space opera.
Yeah, it's more. So let's say this: Mass Effect is more Star Wars, and Starfield is more Star Trek. If that makes any sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes. Yeah, I follow that.
Star Trek is more the science fiction story. It gets more deep, and like you mentioned, Mass Effect is more the space opera, the grandiose story, hero journey kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
And another similarity, New Atlantis and the Citadel are kind of, I don't know why, they kind of remind me a little bit of the same thing. So
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're playing Starfield. Adam, what else is on your plate right now?
Let's see what else. Myth Force, playing that.
What? Tell me about Myth Force. What is this game?
So, man, so it's a roguelike, right? A dungeon crawler type game, but it has that cartoony He-Man, Masters of the Universe type art style. And it works. Even the sound effects. I feel like a lot of the sound effects they use probably just grabbed from old cartoons. But it just doesn't have a lot in regards to the story. And I get it. It's a dungeon crawl. You're supposed to go in one area, go kill, get some loot, and just keep going, and you die and recycle. But the way the trailer, if you watch the trailer, the way it launches up, it's like, oh, he shows you the characters. You got your wizard, your warrior, your rogue, that whole thing. You put them together. There's your Myth Force. But I was expecting like cutscenes and stuff like that because they said, oh, welcome to the different episodes. Okay, well, I'm not getting any of that. I jump into episode 2 and it's just like, oh, welcome to episode 2. You go. There's no story with it. And it just, it's more fun with friends. And I was trying to do that with Chris and we were having connection issues. And I tried it on the Xbox. We were doing it on and the Xbox worked. And then there was a big update for the PC version. Maybe a 50. And it's fun. It's fine. Run around. It's a roguelike. So once you die, you get some of that stuff sticks with you and some doesn't. And then you just keep going on and on and on. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a letdown for what I thought they were going to do. And especially from that trailer, because I was like, oh, man, they did an amazing job with it. Well, it looked like a lot of their money went into that because it even has its own custom song. Myth Force, a Myth Force. It's really catchy. So it's cool. But, yeah, hopefully they'll build on it and it'll get better. But been doing that. Remnant finished that last weekend, so that was great. We're all done with that. Playing Payday 2. We were getting ready for Payday 3. But now we got a curveball because we decided, you know what? No, we are going to go play Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And we're going to finish that. And finish that in co-op. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So we're going to go and start playing some of that. And what else? I feel like there was something else. Oh, I put the new update, the 3.5 preview on my Steam Deck. I recommend everybody do that. It's fantastic. A lot of cool new features. You can now see your shade cache and how much space each game with their cache is taking up. And that's great to see. Also, now you don't need Vibrant Deck. If you were doing Decky Loader and you were having your plugins, you don't need it because now that's integrated. Now they have their own slider and it's already been calibrated to add more texture, more lighting and saturation of the game itself in the screen. And you can mess with the sliders not just on the deck, but within game. There's a little mini slider that pops up. So if a game is a little bit too washed out for you, you could adjust that. So pretty cool. It's in the preview. It's not in the final stable build yet, but there's no issues. And then it just makes things a lot faster. Like now my deck turns on faster, and so I've been doing that.
And what about your deck?
That's what
she said. But what else? I feel like there's something else I was playing on. Of course, playing FIFA, getting ready for FC 24. I'm going to be reviewing that, so I'm excited for that. It's all season. Well, football season's all year round for me, so I'm happy every day. And let's see, there was another game that I was. Hell, I don't remember, but who knows? But that's it.
Cool. Brian, what you playing lately?
I've been playing the same thing for the last weeks and a half. Starfield. Again, I'm with Brett here. The game just sucks your face. I don't understand how Carlos has finished the game already because I just got my second power now. And that lets you know just how far in the game I am, which is like, huh? How's that?
Are you doing
possible?
side missions, or are you just doing the story?
I'm doing everything else. I've done some shipbuilding. I've done a base building to the extent where I had like 4 extractors, and that was it. And it's like, yeah, I'm done with this.
So Carlos, did you do this side stuff too, or did you just go straight story?
I didn't do settlement. Fuck settlement building because that is time consuming. Like
I hate
a
that in
motherfucker.
4 too. That
But I did do faction missions. I completed for Brian.
Did you guys
Brett.
build your own ships?
Well, I told my sad story the other week where I spent like 3 hours designing the perfect ship just to realize that I didn't have the perks to actually build it because I couldn't. The fucking reactor wasn't compatible with my level. So Brian, as far as the powers, so I think I got most of the powers, but I don't know if you've only done. You said you've only done 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be disappointed because all the other ones are pretty much the same type of. It's the same thing, just done like 10 times or something.
To be fair with you, there are some times when I forget that they even exist.
Yeah,
I'll be like, oh no, I pressed the wrong button, and now like everyone's just paused in midair. It's like, oh yeah, the powers exist. Forget about that.
there's some
superpowered being.
Yeah, there's some that are kind of useful. There's one that lets you traverse a little bit quicker, which is the one that I used whenever I would go through a new planet and trying to go to different places. But yeah, I'm kind of similar to you. Some of the powers are just like you're giving me too much shit, and most of it I don't even care about.
I've been more just enjoying all the weapons and all the cool things that you can do. Because I have some borderline broken weapons at this point. I have one shotgun, which is a sniper rifle. Don't ask. I have another shotgun, which is a grenade launcher. Again, don't ask. And then I have this other rifle, which is now a shotgun, because logic exists, and it's stupidly broken, but it's fantastic as well. And I'm loving it. Like just now, when Tony was talking about all the TGS stuff, and they were talking about the Sega stuff, basically I was cosplaying as an AC-130 because I can do that now. And that's just really how broken this game is. It's like, I need to talk about that as well. There's a abandoned settlement here. It's like, okay, cool. Let me just hover in midair and just kill everyone from the sky because I'm now like a new version of Jesus. Like I can do anything I want to no one can stop me. Yeah. And the other thing that really gets me now, and since I've been playing it, is why is nothing abandoned in this place? Like you go to like abandon this, abandon that, and just full of people. It's like, huh?
Dude, I ran into a glitch that because I put all my ammo in my ship and then rebuilt my ship, and I ended up losing a bunch of ammo. So it's like, oh shit, I only have pistol ammo now. Well, good thing that there's an abandoned settlement down here. I'll just go down there and kill everybody who's living in this abandoned settlement and take all their ammo.
Whoa.
Well, Brett, just pro tip: ammo doesn't weigh anything.
What?
Yeah, ammo doesn't weigh anything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you can carry as much as you want. Because some of you, Brian, you go deep into some of these places and the loot. Sometimes the loot sucks, but sometimes the loot is fucking crazy good, and you're like, God damn it! I'm halfway through this fucking chamber, and my dude is already overweight.
Can't you give it to your buddy or the robot?
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes, and I don't know if this has happened to any of you guys. Sometimes the companion just doesn't come. I'm like, okay, is this like a mission?
Buddy of mine brought that up. He was like, oh, I think he died. I was like, I don't think he can die. He's like, well, he's not on my mission anymore. I do missions. He's not there anymore. He's gone. So I think it's possible. Yeah, I don't know if that's a glitch or what, but.
Brian, I have a question for you that I wanted to ask you since last week, but I wanted to ask this week. Is the Mantis mission still your favorite one?
Yes, because I've not really done anything else. I've just mostly been bounty hunting and leveling up my weapons, which just involves just creating a bunch of weapon mods. So my cycle has been find out what mods I want to add, find out what they need, go to different vendors, get the stuff, mine some planets, do some bounty hunting, steal some illicit goods, sell them on the black market, go back to the start, and then mod, and then repeat. So that's why I've just not done anything else. I have finished the missions for Sarah, so all her loyalty missions. It was really quite funny. So I married Sarah, and then right after the ceremony, when like all her friends, well, when her mother's there and she's there, I say to her, like, "Okay, cool, goodbye now. You can go away." And then I just immediately just left her and never talked to her since. So that's a good start.
Some husband you are. Holy shit.
Exactly. That's how I do things. So yeah, it's just been really funny. But yeah, I went through and did all her loyalty missions. So I saved the girl on the planet, which is really quite something, like that's a pretty good side mission if you've done that. But everything else I've not really touched. I don't think I'll be doing any more companion missions unless there's ones that are like really good and really like heartwarming and whatnot. But yeah, so far just bounty hunting. I don't understand how people can be broke. I'm now a millionaire because I've just been doing bounty huntings and selling stuff.
Yeah, money is easy to come by. What the hardest thing is getting some of the I was gonna say space, because like your ship gets full real quick. You have to go to the freaking what is it called, the lodge. Like, oh man, I have to make a trip to the lodge. I got like a whole bunch of uranium and shit. So
the amount of times where I'm just like carrying like 1,000 mass, and it's like, I need to like just slowly walk over to the lift and take that, and then slowly walk over to the lodge and whatnot. It's just I need to find a way to optimize that. And I've been looking online, and people have just making some crazy ship builds where they have like 20,000 cargo or something stupid like that. And then it's like, I want to do that, but then just looking at all the things I need to invest into just to get there, it's like I just didn't spec into that. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I have enough points to do it, because isn't that max level like 60 or something? I
don't know. I'm 40 something right now.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, I do want to have that ability, but at the same time, I just need to go through and spec stuff out, like different tree, and I've already gone down this tree for a reason. So it's like, I don't know. So
also,
it's like a weird balancing act. But I do think at some point, maybe towards the end of or mid next month, end of this month, I might be able to finish it. But then after this game, I don't know. I'm thinking Remnant 2. Brett sold me on that game before it came out. Well, after it came out. So I've been itching to jump into it, but I was waiting for the Starfield. But now my Starfield is not getting towards the end, but I can feel it gradually getting there to the point where it's like, okay, it's not fresh anymore. It's just kind of like, okay, we're going through the motions. So it means that at some point will end. So what's next in queue? Or Remnant 2.
Heck yeah, the gunplay in that game is awesome.
Cool. And Chris, what have you been playing lately?
Actually, been playing Remnant 2.
Ooh.
I'm stuck on the last boss. He's freaking insane.
Bro, you and everybody else.
Yeah, man, I couldn't kill this guy. Get to the second stage, he's tearing apart reality, and I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, all right. So I played that, but I stopped because Separate Ways came out.
Ooh, yes, Resident Evil 4, yes.
Yeah, so I started playing that, and it's quite good. It fills in Ada's story, but it there's some stuff that I won't spoil it for anybody, but if you notice in the old game, there was a lot of traps and things that Leon encountered that they cut out of this game. But they didn't cut it out; they just gave it to her. So it's kind of weird. It's like,
wow.
I remember that thing, but you were playing as Leon the whole time. And there's more story to it. It's very interesting. And Louis figures more into kind of her story, ironically. So it's pretty good so far. I haven't beat it yet, but it's pretty good. So I recommend that. If you played RE4, definitely play that.
Good stuff. And this is the first time, and I was waiting, like, I'm like, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? First time in a very long time where every single member of Throwdown has been playing a video game, people. Doesn't happen
Shit,
really
it's
often.
so crazy. It's so crazy that I've been playing too.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? You playing games, you know?
Playing games, man.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. So good stuff. Hopefully this trend will continue, you know? So, yeah, that's it for us, people. So do we have anything to plug around here?
Adam.
Well, just still doing the Daryl Dixon, The Walking Dead.
Dixon.
So good. So far, so good. Only 6 episodes. We're 2 down. Got a third one this week. It's been getting great reviews across the boards from even outlets that don't like Walking Dead, which is surprising. But then again, it could be that there's not a lot that's coming out. And we'll find out more tomorrow regarding this writer's strike. Apparently, they had some big meetings. So let's see if they can get this done. Because if not, it's starting to look like no new shows or anything until probably the summertime, whenever this goes to effect.
Well, I mean, isn't Fear coming out pretty soon?
Yeah, Fear's coming back. It's weird. I can't talk. They sent me some stuff.
Uh-oh.
I got blow my nose.
Yeah, no, but that's coming back. That's the final. This is the final season.
It's the final
part of it.
season.
Yeah, it's a few more episodes of that, and then that's it. We're done. So yeah, go ahead. I am Negan. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Check it out. People
a lot of support for Daryl Dixon. Our views on that have been really, really good.
Yeah, and it's because it's good. It's good. They didn't change the character. He's a man of few words. That sticks around here. It gives everybody weird nicknames like, "Oh, this is creepy kid" and stuff, and it's a crazy nun. So yeah, and you got killer nuns in it. How could you go wrong with that? They replaced the priest from Walking Dead proper and say, "Hey, let's get a nun involved." Like, okay, here you go. You got a nun.
Nuns have more fun or whatever. Manny, how'd it go? Yeah, there you go. All right, people, that is it for Throwdown. Make sure you hit us up on Twitch and Twitter, Discord. Again, shout out to the Discord gang. You guys were on fire this week, man, with a lot of Microsoft stuff. So shout out to you guys. You guys were having a ball, even though it's at the expense of Xbox, but it is what it is. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. That's 2 words, Throwdown Show, throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And you've been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
iPhone day.
Oh, shit. Let's get it in.
Okay.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
I read possibly the most depressing headline ever, and it read, Need for Speed developer Criterion will now focus on Battlefield.
Oh, no.
I'll read that again in case you didn't get it. Need for Speed developer Criterion.
Yeah, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. It should read Burnout developer. But even that's still
doesn't
bad.
matter.
Why aren't you making the Burnout, motherfucker? Criterion. What are we doing here? Come on, man. What the fuck? So what's
didn't
Dice
they make
doing?
this mistake already?
Yeah, they did. We already did this, guys. And what's going on with Dice now?
With Hardline, yeah.
Oh my god,
Crazy,
No
man.
idea.
That is depressing, by the way.
Yeah, that is very, very, very
Doesn't
upsetting.
make sense.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday, man. Later.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Deuces.
Peace.